Welcome back to World Radio. Now let's take a time out from the dismal panorama of the government shutdown and the looming bankruptcy and the gang of thugs on the Hill and the new Buchanan in the White House. Let's take a look in, as usual now, into the New York City campaign. We're now about 1 month from the New York City elections. The Tax Wall Street Party is on the ballot with Randy Credico running hard. And let's get an update now from Daniela Walls. Daniela, welcome.
Hi, Webster. Yeah, we're exactly 1 month from the big date of the November 5th general election. So I think I need to talk about what the campaign needs most now and how people can help us have the biggest showing on November 5th.
Please do. Take it away.
Okay. So, well, we've been doing as much as we humanly can here so far, but now it has to be up to everyone. We currently have enough volunteers to hand out our 10,000 campaign flyers on the streets in New York City. Many people wrote to me since last week's show and volunteered for on-ground work. Our volunteer count is now more than effective for this. However, if you are in New York City and you want to come out and meet up with us on the weekend, we're going out with as many people as possible. Call Chris Reese at 908-433-3266, and he'll let you know exactly where the crew is in real time. Every weekend, we will have a big gang of people meeting in a central location to get flyers from Chris, and then spend a couple hours passing them out. Usually then everybody goes out after flyering for a fun meal and beer. Chris's number, again, is 908-433-3266. But right now, we are especially looking for people to do things remotely to spread the word about the platform. There are many things you can do if you're not in New York City. People can contact everyone they might know who does live in New York and aggressively urge them to get out on November 5th and inform them about Randy running in the general election and his platform. Encourage people you know in New York City to visit his website at credico2013.org or the Tax Wall Street Party's website at taxwallstreetparty.org. I'm just going to spell those again, credico2013.org, or the Tax Wall Street Party website is taxwallstreetparty.org. People can try to contact organizations in New York City that they think might be sympathetic to the issues in our platform. Go down and read both platforms on Randy's website and on the Tax Wall Street Party website, and then see if there's any specific issues that you could Google organizations and let them know that Randy is a candidate for mayor and they have sympathetic issues. We have images or memes or flyers or whatever you want to call them that you can share on Facebook and Twitter or send to your own email list. The memes will be up on Randy's website, credico2013.org again, or his Facebook page, Randy Credico for Mayor 2013. Donations are extremely important so we can pay for advertisements that we're doing on local radio. Cheap advertisements, but nonetheless, we're trying to get as many as we can. You can donate at credico2013.org. There's a donate button on the homepage. But, Webster, what Randy really needs most is a profile written about him and his candidacy and his platform in one of the major dailies. We want the article to stress that he favors taxing Wall Street. So if there are any journalists listening or bloggers who can write about his candidacy, that would be helpful. But the key is that we need to get him into the New York Times, the Post, the Daily News, Newsday, the New York Observer, and even the Village Voice. We need to get Randy in a widely circulated daily, even just once. His candidacy has never been mentioned in any of these. They've all blacked him out.
Let's add the New Yorker magazine and New York magazine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have mentioned those two as well. I think there are two approaches, Webster. First, one is a soft approach. If somebody feels that they have the ability or time to ingratiate themselves with some of the reporters of these papers through emails or phone calls, especially if you already have an in or a contact. The New York Daily News, I'm finding, is one of the papers that might be the most sympathetic to Randy's cause because they're the only paper that hasn't wholly jumped on the de Blasio bandwagon. The New York Daily News has been doing some digging into his record throughout the campaign, unlike the other dailies. So that would be a soft approach where you would have to gently approach the reporters and begin a dialogue with them, try to win over their friendship quickly. Hopefully they'll write back to you, and then you would have to do a follow-up. A great way to start out with these reporters is to find any who are covering the election. This is all going to take some research on everyone's part themselves as well. I can't provide all the information for everybody. I can speak to if you want some guidance, but I'll just try to get it out now. So find reporters that are covering the election and who have covered anything that includes issues related to Randy's platform, and say to them or write to them in an email that says, that was this is what I do. I write, that was a great article that you wrote on, mention whatever they had written about, and say, did you also know Randy Credico is running, and you can do a story on Randy's candidacy. I'm contacting these reporters too, but the more people I think that contact them, the more effective it's going to be. This race is a blowout now at 71% for de Blasio to 20% for Lota. So reporters in these final 4 weeks might say, there's nothing really to write about here anymore. It's getting pretty boring between the Democrat and the Republican. This isn't even a horse race, and think, oh, well, I have some time. I might write about this Credico guy. So the soft approach is one approach, and they might totally ignore us, which won't be the first time, but I think it's also really worth trying. The other approach would be to bombard them via Twitter and Facebook and email, demanding coverage for Randy's campaign, to tweet at these news sources and these individual reporters. Again, the list is, if anybody wants to write this down, the New York Times, the New York Post, the New York Daily News, Newsday, the New York Observer, and the Village Voice. I might even I should probably add a list of all the reporters just right on Randy's website at this point. Don't you think, Webster? So
what I'm thinking is, looking back at that famous King Kong brochure that you helped to design, there's a bunch of endorsements there, and those are people that would carry weight with journalists, I would think. So maybe there's also the indirect method, which is, get, the one that occurs to me, I've seen him here a couple of weeks ago, Cornel West, right? Maybe Cornel West would like to follow up and at least guarantee that this program, you don't have to endorse Credico, you just have to say, this is a program that deserves to be heard, which is more or less what that politicus had said, right? That this program compels attention, beyond any other thing.
That King Kong ad that you're talking about is a great thing to send to the reporters, whether you just repost it or tweet that ad to them. And I'll try to get some of the celebrities who are friends with Randy and support him, like Cornel West, to make direct connections. But it's up to people, I think, en masse. I mean, one of all people, one of the campaigns that is famous for this, Ron Paul's people are famous for doing this. If he's excluded from a debate or his people aren't happy with the amount of coverage that he's getting, his people swamp those media sites. So if we could get Randy's platform in just one of these New York daily newspapers, they are read, Webster, by 500,000 people a day or more. The problem is that most people in New York City have no idea that Randy is even running in this race. When the people handing out flyers meet people on the street, they don't really know he's even running. And then they get excited as soon as they see the platform. But we need to get this platform into people's hands.
Let me also suggest here, one thing that's worked in Washington over the years is if you get up on an overpass with a banner during the morning rush hour, and it could just say, vote Credico November 5th, or just Credico. All of those tens of thousands of cars that go underneath see it. Right? So there are ways to compel attention. Anyway, we're out of time.
That's a good idea. I'm going to send some guys up there to the overpass. But that's what I've got for now. So I'll talk to you next week, Webster.
Great. Keep on keeping on. We'll see you soon. And we'll be back in a minute on World Crisis Radio.